I dare you today, just one day, grow a pair. Just one day, stand up. One day, have a spine. See how it goes. You going to lunch? You know that loudmouth libtard that always has something stupid to say? Walk in and say, I'm not talking about politics because you people offend me. No politics today. And if you do talk politics, I'm going to call your president the ass clown he is, and your whoremongering former president that you idolize is a rapist. You want to get into it? I'll go toe-to-toe. Now, there's nothing good to come of that conversation, okay, except for the fact that you don't have to sit, as most of us do, and listen to these people browbeat us all the time. I'm sick of watching grown men. I've watched veterans. We'll sit at a dinner table and watch one libtard who thinks they know everything, and because nobody wants to create a foul environment, nobody wants to give in to that libtard who wants to pollute the entire evening with their nonsense and arguing. Nobody wants to do it, so everybody just kind of grits their teeth and bites their tongue and lets it go. Let them have it and make it personal. Listen, this ain't about Barack Obama and Bill Clinton. This is about you being a bedwetter. This is about your abandonment issues as a child. You're just like Barack Obama. You're just like Bill Clinton. You got serious abandonment issues. Nobody loved you as a kid, and you spent your entire life trying to control the rest of us. Let's be honest. You're a nobody-nothing who's angry at everybody else, walking around solving the world's problems with ridiculous ideas that were tried in the 70s and failed. You're a loser, and so are the people you support. Let's be honest. Nobody wants you around. You have no friends. You're good at nothing. You know it, I know it, and everybody else knows it. Let's stop talking about politics and talk about you, because politics is a deflection. It's a deflection for your own insecurities, your own weakness, your own flaccid life, your own limp-wristed inability to stand up for yourself. So you lash out using your little toy men. You sit over in the corner with your little toy men and say, my little toy man is beating up your toy men. That's what this is about. That's what politics represents to you. Look at you. You're a grown poodle. You are the poodle of life. You're pathetic. Look at yourself. That's what you ought to do. And for people who are undecided and ask you stupid questions, give them the honest truth. Don't worry. I wish Michael Berry was here. He'd help me answer this question. Hey, Michael, will you help me with my neighbor? My neighbor's not sure who to vote for. Well, this just burns me up. My neighbor's not sure who to vote for, and I don't really know what to tell him. So should I tell him so? Will you help me? Here's his phone number. Would you mind calling him? Sure, I got nothing better to do than call your dumbass neighbor who can't see what's going on in this country and try to talk some sense into a senseless buffoon of an idiot fool. The only thing that can be hoped out of your stupid neighbor is that they don't vote. If you want me to call your neighbor and say, hey, dumbass, the election's Christmas Day. Don't vote before that. It's all a scam. By the way, I'm sending the Publishers Clearinghouse people today with balloons with $1 million. But first, can you send me $2,000 because I got a Nigerian prince who actually won, but he's converting the money over to you. But we need the money to get him out of the country so he can come over here, and we're going to film the whole thing. It's going to be great. Now, can you send the money to a P.O. box and send it in cash in unmarked numbers, but not to my name, to another name of a different Nigerian guy who's a really, really swell guy, and his grandfather is the former king of Nigeria, but they are having a little bit of trouble. Could you help us with that? You cannot abide stupidity. Good grief, people. I am so tired of people telling me, yeah, they did my kid wrong. They did my kid real wrong. They told my kid, they assigned my kid an assignment. And he wrote a story about what's wrong with America. And he said that what was wrong with America was abortion. And his teacher said, you can't do this because this will upset people. And I was real mad about it, Michael. I'm so mad I called you. Really? What'd you do about it? Well, I tell you what, I'm burning mad, I am. I'm so darn mad I don't know what to do about it. I figured I was going to call you and tell you how dadgum mad I am. Did you go to the school and do anything about it? Did you go up there and raise hell? Did you go up there and have that vein busting out of your neck? Did you go up there and tell them that this will not exist, that the dude abides, and that this will not stand, man? Did you do it, man? Did you do it? Well, I hadn't done nothing yet. My wife told me not to go up there in that school because, it'll embarrass my kid and everything. I don't want to embarrass my kid. So they spit in your kid's face and crap down his neck, and you think it's fantastic because you don't want them to upset him, right? Well, I don't want my kid, to have to go to school after we done caused a protest and everything. Well, then you will sit down and you will take what you're given, because you are a thumb-sucking patriot loudmouth who does nothing about anything. You're the problem, not the libtards. You and people just like you. Every single person, and I don't care if you tune the station out. I don't care if you ever listen to me. If what I say causes a conviction for you, then so be it. I am tired of people who claim they love this country but clearly don't. You love this country, fight for it. People have died for this country. The original colonists were willing to give their lives to fight the mightiest army and the mightiest navy. And but for the fact that the Earl of Sandwich was a hedonistic fool who had no ability to lead the navy of England, we never would have defeated him. Do you know that most of our soldiers didn't look like George Washington? They had no shoes, and they were hungry all the time. Washington gave the order that if you desert and turn and run, we'll shoot you on the spot. They weren't deserting because they didn't want to fight. They were deserting because they wanted to go forage in the wood for food because they were starving. The hunger pangs were eating them up. They weren't scared of being shot. They were scared of starving to death because these people believed that living under that treacherous king was unbearable. They couldn't live that way, and they were willing to fight to the death. They left their families and their farms to go fallow. They left their families and their farms to half die and starve so that they could fight off this king and have a little bit of freedom in this country. And you can't stand up to the person next door to you. You can't stand up to the person in your carpool. You can't stand up to the person in the cubicle. You can't stand up for what's right. Shame on you. Shame on you. You deserve to live in a country where you're not allowed to stand up. Good grief. We need to, every single one of us, stand up every single time. How did it become politically correct to crap on our veterans and crap on our old people and crap on families and crap on Christians? How did it become politically correct to do the wrong thing, the sick thing, the perverted thing, the disgusting thing, the evil, un-American, unpatriotic thing? You know how it became that way? Because they push harder than we do. Because they're willing to fight and scratch your eyes out and we walk off. Because we are sissies and wussies. And until we decide that we are going to push back and bear the consequences, yes, some of you will be fired. I hope so. Send me your email. I'd love to send you to an attorney who will sue your company. We need to take over juries. And every time somebody is fired for speaking out a political opinion that the left doesn't like, we need to make sure they're reinstated and that company gets nailed to the wall. We need to defeat Democrats in every single election. I don't care if they're your neighbor or your cousin or your friend or you got a contract with the government. We need to start calling out these thumb-sucking patriots. We need to start fighting back. And by God, we need to start winning.